we want to get in the mood. I'm going to be talking about awards. So let's start with a little bit of celebration music just to get us in the mood. And I'm going to go through some top tips all about how you can win business awards, why business awards are so great for your business. So let's turn us over. So benefits of business awards. I think one of the biggest benefits that is highly underrated is actually the process of putting an entry together, because this gives you an opportunity to do a real deep dive into your business and a real 360-degree look at it. And that is not something that takes 5 minutes. Putting an award entry together probably quite a substantial amount of time. And I would recommend you spend that time on it, because it's going to reveal all sorts of things about your business, perhaps that you didn't realise. So it gives you a chance to review all your processes, your customer testimonials, perhaps have a look at what your competitors are doing. And you might not have done that for a while, because we get so caught up in the day-to-day running of our business that we sometimes, don't always revisit these things. Or give you a great opportunity to do that. And some of the information that you turn up when you're doing this, you will be able to use in other areas of your business. So it's a massive benefit to entering awards. It really does give you that chance to do a review. Obviously, if you are a finalist or a winner, then you're getting a recognition of your achievements. And that leads to things like new clients, PR opportunities, and it gives you a competitor edge over the other people in your industry. And it's also an independent validation of your expertise. So nothing creates better validation than a business award. And I can speak from my own personal experience. When I won my first award back in 2012, the doors it opened to me has been incredible. And the awards I've won since, it makes such a difference to your business. I cannot stress that enough. Obviously, it's a great thing to share with your customers, and people love working with award-winning businesses. Also, when people are looking at which businesses to work with, there is a lot of evidence that shows that people will choose an award-winning business over a business that hasn't won awards. So it really does give you that competitor edge. And finally, at the final, if you get selected to be a finalist in a business award, you're going to be able to network with other finalists, sponsors, other winners. So it's a fabulous networking opportunity. And Louise and I actually sat together at those business awards back in 2012. We already did know each other, but we kind of got to know each other a bit better, which was really nice. So which award should you enter? Because this is a question I get asked a lot. And one of the things I start off with is thinking about what awards would benefit your business. Do you want to be known better locally? Do you want to be known in your industry as an industry expert? Do you want a national award? Do you want a global award? Because there's awards pretty much for everything. So really stop and think about what it is you want to be known for. And lots of people start off with local awards, which is really good, and continue sometimes with those because it means you get really well known in your local area. The main thing you want to think about is the credibility of the awards. I'm really not a fan of voting competitions, because voted awards are a popularity contest, and they're also a great lead capture for those companies who are asking you, your friends and your family and your clients, to vote for you. So I don't particularly favour those, but you really want something that's got a judging panel, that you have to submit a reasonable amount of information, and that badge on your website, on your stationery, is a badge of honour because it's a credible award. So then you want to think about looking probably at past winners, finalists, sponsors, get a feel for who's involved in the awards and who has, who is their alumni, who have they awarded business awards to in the past. And then look at the categories and make sure that there's the categories that you want to apply for, that you're eligible for those categories. So really check the entry requirements really carefully, and look at things like entry fees, fees to attend the ceremony and all of those sorts of things. So you're going into it with your eyes wide open. Most credible awards will charge a small entry fee, mainly because it covers their admin, but also the reason we introduced it with the awards that I run a couple of years ago was because actually, you know, people told me that this was the case, that actually people put more of their effort into something, even if they're only paying a nominal fee of £25, they'll put more effort into something than when it's free. And it is very, very true. So it's normally a nominal fee, and you'll be able to normally find on the websites the information about the final and when the closing dates are, etc. So make sure you've made loads of notes on that. And also really look at their social media, look at the awards digital footprint. You know, are they promoting their finalists and their winners? You know, are you going to get some extra leverage out of that? Because awards are also great for SEO. If you've got a backlink from their website to yours, for example, or they're talking about you on social media and creating links to your site. So just make sure that they've got some good social media activity going on. So when starting your awards journey, these are the questions you really need to have fixed in your head. And you could put these onto a document at any point, because these are all going to be useful things to put into an award entry. So really thinking about what drove you to start your business, what passion you have for your industry, what research did you do, what is your purpose and your mission, and what sort of clients do you work with? So it's kind of these questions that will form the foundation of your awards entry. And you could create all of these at any point in a document, just pop them on your desktop. And then you've got that there, and then you can start to formulate the answers to the questions that you get asked. And I really think also have some time to reflect on your business so far. So I always divide this up into two different types of businesses. You've got service-based businesses, where you want to be thinking about why clients come to you and what sort of results do you get with those clients and how do you achieve them, and what sort of qualifications and expertise and experience have you got in your industry. And then thinking about product-based businesses, if you're somebody who sells a product, why did you create the product in the first place? What research you did, how your product solves a problem. It might not be a problem-solving product, it might be a luxury product, in which case, what niche does that fill in the market? And then think about the endorsements that you've got for your product. And if you haven't got endorsements, maybe it's time to think about doing that before you enter awards. Because endorsements and certifications, particularly from professional bodies, really carry a lot of weight. And they carry a lot of weight with consumers, but they also carry a lot of weight with award judging panels. Things like one of our winners had a thumb sucking device that goes over your thumb for children called the Thumbsy, and she got an endorsement from the British Dental Association, which is an incredible achievement. So it's really thinking about how you can get your product accredited or certificated. And then have an achievement folder on your desktop, because we tend to forget all the small wins. They kind of get pushed to one side, but also our big wins. So think about all the things that you've achieved since you started your business and compare from when you started to where you are now. So most people start with no clients, no turnover, certainly no profit. And look at actually how far you've come, because often in awards, it's not about the high profits, it's not about high customer numbers, it's about that journey, where you are, how far you've come, that the judges want to know about. And you can illustrate those in a graph, in a chart, or an infographic that really kind of visualizes that journey. And think about what your greatest achievements have been so far. Many of you might have set yourself targets, and how have you performed against your targets? And think about, you know, telling this story to a judging panel about your business journey and your business development. Also, if you've had any press, so it could just be a piece in the local paper. It could be that you've been on local radio. It could be that you got featured in somebody's book, that you've been interviewed for a podcast, Or it could be that you've written a book yourself or done a TEDx talk, or you've got your own podcast. So, don't forget about all the small things that you do that build the picture of you and your business journey for a judging panel. The next thing I would say to you to think about is how you look after your customers, because a judging panel is going to want to know all about your customer experience. So what is the onboard experience for your customers? And, sometimes when I work with people on award entries, and they've done award entries before and they've not been shortlisted, and they come to me for advice, and I start looking at the entry and I ask loads of questions, and I'm like, well, how do you look after your customers? What do you do? And they start telling me things, and I'm like, but none of this is in your entry. So, for example, somebody said to me, oh, I send my customers like a welcome pack, and I have a call with them, and they get this lovely pack, which is sent through the post with all these nice goodies in there. There was nothing in there about that in the entry. So I was like, well, that should be in there. So, if you don't have an onboarding process for clients, maybe it's time to think about one. And how do you retain clients? Now, some of you might have clients that only use you once because of whatever goods or services that you're selling. But how do you turn those clients into raving fans and they go and tell other people about you? So really think about that, and think about what you do that your competitors don't do, and how you manage things when it goes wrong, because we all have sometimes problems. Things go a little bit awry, and how do you cope with that? How do you manage that? And you can always tell a story if you've had an incident where maybe something didn't arrive for a client and what you did to rectify that. And the great thing as well in an award entry to share is retention numbers. So particularly if you're a service where you would expect clients to come back to you, so take, for example, maybe an osteopath or a physiotherapist or something along the lines, maybe health and wellness, a beautician or something, then share your retention numbers in an award entry, how many clients that you actually keep. And also, if you've got clients that turn into raving fans, share that as well. So that brings me on to talking about testimonials, reviews, and case studies. And these must be part of your ongoing sales process and absolutely vital for successful award entries. I've been in business a long time, 23 years, and long time ago, long before Facebook and really the internet, when people would send you a letter to say thank you, or they'd send you a card or some flowers. But obviously nowadays we have a digital footprint, and we have the ability to leave reviews online. So the judging panel are going to be looking for businesses that have got good online reviews. For example, Facebook reviews, it could be Google, it could be Check a Trade, Vouch For. There's lots of review portals out there, and many of them are industry specific. So there will be ones out there for your industry, and I would channel them to one place if you possibly can, so that the more reviews you've got in one place, the easier it is for the judges to see that, and the easier it is for prospective clients. Everything I'm telling you tonight is related to award entries, but also related to you actually getting new business. And the reason this lady's in this picture, her name's Louise Hampton, and she had, at the time when she won this award, over 100 5-star Google reviews, and you cannot argue with that.
Debbie, sorry, can I just interrupt you for 1 second? We haven't been seeing slides, we've just been listening to you.
Oh, well, I don't know why. When I tried to share just before,
somebody did ask earlier, and I thought, no, it's fine, and then you just said, oh, we should see a slide now.
Yeah, I've been showing slides. What I'll do is I'll send them out afterwards.
Perfect.
Is that all right?
Yes, absolutely, Debbie. If you just pop it in your email in the chat.
If anybody wants the slides, I'll send them. Because the first time I tried to share this, it kicked me off, and I came back on, and I thought it was sharing. There's obviously a bit of an issue.
You've been a mate. You tell us about this lovely lady.
Okay, so so going back to Louise, yeah. So she had over 100 Google reviews. You can't argue with that. So my advice to you is that you share a link with your clients when you've finished a piece of work or they've bought a product from you, and be really specific about what you want them to say and where you want them to leave the review. You know, not a lot of businesses do this, and they don't have this process in place. And if you're going to enter awards, you need those credible online reviews. So the final thing I want to talk to you about is business growth. So thinking about what support that you've had to build your business. So it could be that you've got, you don't necessarily have to have staff, you know, it could be that you've got a website designer that does all your website stuff. You could have a VA, you could have an accountant. All of these people can be mentioned in an awards entry. And it's a fallacy, you know, that you need a big team and loads of staff to enter business awards. No, you don't. So you need satisfied customers and a bit of profit to enter business awards. That's what you need. And illustrating to the judging panel all about your business growth is quite important. So it's charts from when you started your business, but also, you know, what plans do you have to grow it? Now, it might be that you don't have any plans to take it further than where it is today, and there could be reasons for that, and that's perfectly fine. And I would just explain that in the award entry. But it might be that you have got ambitious plans to grow your business in the next 5 years, say. And, you know, if you have, weave that into the award entry. So that's really important. Also, in an award entry, they will want to know what your marketing tactics are. So they'll want to know how you actually gain your customers. And you don't need to go into deep, dark depths. You just need a list of your marketing tactics, really, just to show what you do to gain your customers. I would also be inclined to think about your goals for the year and share the ones you had last year and how you performed against those. And obviously with COVID, anyone entering business awards this year, they're going to expect to see, in most cases, unless you're an undertaker, a dip in profit. They're going to expect to see that things maybe haven't been smooth sailing for the past year. But what they're going to want to know is how you've navigated that. What have you done? How have you kept even if your business has just been treading water, how have you kept going? So, I mean, do not let the COVID situation put you off entering awards this year, because I think it's going to be great for businesses to be able to put themselves out there with this. And the press are going to love stories about businesses that have pivoted and kept, you know, persevering. If you're a new business and you're applying for a new business category in business awards, you really want to make sure you've got some projections. They're going to want to see, because, you know, obviously you're not probably going to have profit. So they're going to want to see, what do you expect in the next 3 years? So I would get some business projections put together. And if it's not your strong point, talk to your accountant, get them to help you put some projections together. You should be doing that anyway. But, you know, if you're entering awards, it's essential. Also, one of the things people leave out of awards is charity work. They forget about the things they do to support people pro bono. So make sure that if you do anything to support charities, projects, anything in your community, from being on the board of governors to, you know, if you're on the school PTA, it's all relevant. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, how's that relevant for a business award? What they're looking for are well-rounded people who contribute to society, who do what they can to help others. So I think don't leave anything out, because actually judging panels love people that contribute. So make sure that goes in. So to wrap it up a little bit, what do the judges need to know? Well, they need to know your story, which includes the challenges, the triumphs, the figures, the achievements, and your credentials. So that's it in a nutshell. You'll get a copy of the slides afterwards, which has got this list on it. Sorry, you can't see the slides. And I've put into the presentation some common questions, and I'm not going to go through these now because I know we're a little bit tight on time, but you can see the common questions that are asked in most awards entries. So it might give you a bit of a heads up on preparation to start looking at those. So I'll send these out on a PDF to anyone who puts their email address in the chat box. And my final point tonight really was to tell you where to find out about awards. So there's a website called Awards List, It's awards-list.co.uk, and that website lists pretty much every awards, nationally, globally, industry type. I mean, there is even awards for air conditioning. I mean, there's awards pretty much for everything. You can also have a look at Google, do a Google search, have a look at your competitors and what they've won. You can also look at your industry, so your industry body. So I'm a Chartered Institute Marketing, they run some stuff as well. The recruitment awards are run by one of the recruitment magazines, for example. So there's lots of industry specific awards out there. Have a look on social media, see what's being talked about. You know, if anyone wants a sort of proper kind of deep dive, I do like award power hours with people to go through what awards are out there, because there is so much. And I can give my honest views and opinions. And I am very honest. When people come to me for advice, if I don't think you're ready yet, I'll say to you, right, you need to go and do this, this and this, and maybe think about it for next year, because it is a lot of work. And so therefore you've got to be at that right point. But I think it's just such a worthwhile exercise. It really is. And there's just so many benefits. So take action today and be a champion. And I don't know if it will play this, but hopefully it might, because there's obviously some gremlins at work.
Oh, I was just going to get into that.
You got to go with the mindset.
That's brilliant. Debbie, thank you so much.